This idea, right, that invading the White House is just part of your First Amendment right to protest is absurd. History informs us that such tactics were used during the Civil Rights Movement to terrorize, abuse, and intimidate African Americans. Right. It doesn't sound here like racial diversity is a strength of the Secret Service, right? There's no First Amendment right to invade the White House. And if using water hoses keeps invaders at bay, that might be a good idea, even if water hoses at some previous point in time were not used correctly. Is there any security method to deter criminal behavior that at some time is not being used incorrectly? So we should stop using valid methods of crowd control if they hurt the feelings of certain segments, certain aggrieved parts of the Secret Service. So many black staffers would accuse the agency of racism, right? The more races you have, the more likely you are to have accusations of racism. And of course, the whole what constitutes racism is entirely subjective. So why do we encourage invocations of a non-existent moral category? And the idea that the job of the Secret Service is to protect the civil rights of protesters is absurd, right? That's another criticism that I think this book gets wrong. So it talks about a black woman who is interrupting one of Donald Trump's speeches. And so various members of the crowd yank her out of there, right? You don't have a First Amendment right to interrupt someone else's speech, right? And this book says, oh my God, why weren't there any Secret Service agents trying to protect this woman's First Amendment rights to interrupt Donald Trump's speech? Well, there isn't a First Amendment right to protect speech, and that's not the job of the Secret Service, right? The job of the Secret Service is to protect the president.